Dear viewers, today we will discuss practicals on erythrocyte sedimentation rate, that is ESR, bleeding time, clotting time and hematocrit value. Aim of the practicals are to find out the ESR rate, bleeding time, clotting time and hematocrit value of the given blood sample. First we will see the ESR, why the test is done. This test can be used to monitor inflammatory diseases or cancer. It is a screening test. This test may also be used to monitor whether an illness is responding to treatment. The ESR test is useful for detecting and monitoring certain conditions like autoimmune disorders, bone infections, certain forms of arthritis, inflammatory disorders that cause vague symptoms, tissue death, unexplained fever, muscle symptoms. Introduction. The erythrocyte sedimentation rate, that is ESR, also called as sedimentation rate, SED rate, is the rate at which red blood cells precipitate or settle in a period of 1 hour. It is a common hematology test which is a non-specific measure of inflammation. To perform the test, anticoagulated blood is placed in an upright tube and the rate at which the RBC fall is measured and reported in millimeter per hour. This sedimentation process is divided into 3 stages for convenience. When a column of blood stands undisturbed, there is a tendency of red cell to aggregate together in a peculiar pile of coins arrangement called Roulex. This is the stage of aggregation. Roulex formation. The red blood cells are negatively charged as they remain suspected in the plasma. These charges tend to keep them separate from one another. Protein molecules in plasma bestow a property of stickiness or cohesiveness to the red cell. It overcomes the repulsion caused by the negative charge. When the cells strike each other because of the random thermodynamic movements, they tend to stick to each other and get piled over one another to form a Roulex. Each Roulex consists of 8 to 12 cells, and when more cells aggregate together, the repelling forces cause the Roulex to break into 2. This limits the size of the Roulex. Factors affecting Roulex formation. 1. Different molecules in plasma, as an example proteins, cholesterol, etc., affect the rate of Roulex formation. Larger molecules usually increase the rate. 2. When the number of erythrocytes is more, the number of the piles or Roulex formed is also more, and all of them start settling down. 3. Cell size, its shape and composition affects the Roulex formation. The aggregates get heavy and begin to fall to the bottom of the suspension. This is the stage of sedimentation called the stage of fall. The final phase is the stage of packing with the cells and aggregates low down to increased cell concentration, crowding and packing. Factors affecting the ESR. First is effect of plasma proteins. Changes in plasma proteins occur rapidly following tissue injury or in response to inflammation. Increased concentration of fibrinogen and immunoglobulins will increase Roulex formation and hence the rate of sedimentation. Plasma albumin retards sedimentation of RBCs. Second is the RBC count and number. The size and the number of the RBCs also affect on the ESR. The cells which show alteration in the size like spherocytes and sickle cells usually do not exhibit increased rate unless there is severe anemia. Increased red cell mass retards the sedimentation rate, as an example polycythemia. Third is technical factors. Perpendicularity of sedimentation tube. The tube should be vertical. Temperature, that is 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. Higher temperature can cause false high results due to the reduction in the plasma viscosity. Vibration can reduce the ESR. Now we will see the principle of the method. When anticoagulated blood is allowed to stand undisturbed, the RBCs will normally settle out to the bottom of the tube. This principle is the basis for the erythrocyte sedimentation rate. By definition, the ESR is the distance in millimeters that the red cells fall in millimeters per unit of time, which is usually 1 hour. The ESR is directly proportional to the red cell mass and inversely proportional to the plasma viscosity. Now we will see the Vintrobe method. Here specimen required is fresh fasting EDTA anticoagulated blood, and that should be undiluted too. Requirements: Vintrobe tube stand, 2 ml syringe with needle, timer or watch. Procedure: 1. Clean the patient's skin at the site of collection. 2. Collect 3 ml of blood by syringe and transfer it to a EDTA vacutainer. 3. Mix the blood carefully. 4. Fill the Vintrobe tube to the 0 mark by using a syringe. 5. Place the tube in exact vertical position in the stand. 6. Set the time for 1 hour. 7. At the end of 1 hour, note the level of erythrocytes column in terms of millimeter. Normal range of ESR in Vintrobe method. In male, 0 to 9 millimeters after 1 hour, and in females 0 to 20 millimeters after 1 hour. Result: ESR value is 15 millimeter after 1 hour, which includes in normal range. Now we will see clinical significance of erythrocyte sedimentation rate. ESR is increased in all conditions where there is tissue breakdown or where there is entry of foreign proteins in the blood, except for localized mild infections. The determination is useful to check the progress of the disease. If the patient is improving, the ESR tends to fall. If the patient's condition is getting worse, the ESR tends to rise. The changes of ESR are, however, not diagnostic of any specific disease. It only indicates increase in fibrinogen and or globulin levels, as would happen in any tissue injury. Increased value of ESR is found in some physiological conditions like pregnancy, menstruation and parturition. Decreased value of ESR is found in some physiological conditions like it is found very rare in newborn babies. Increased value of ESR is found in some pathological conditions like rheumatic fever, tuberculosis, malignancy, anemia. Decreased value of ESR is found in pathological conditions like polycythemia, congenital absence of fibrinogen, congenital spherocytosis and allergic conditions. Dear viewers, Now we will learn a practical of determination of bleeding time. Determination of bleeding time helps to detect vascular defect and platelet disorders. Prolonged bleeding time is generally associated with thrombocytopenia. In cases as von Willebrand disease, bleeding time is high with a normal platelet count. It is caused by a platelet defect combined with factor VIII deficiency. Introduction. Hemostasis is a sequence of events that leads to bleeding cessation via the formation of a fibrin platelet hemostatic plug. It involves the triad of an injured vascular wall, platelets and coagulation cascade. Platelets play a major role in hemostasis, starting with adherence to the injured wall through von Willebrand factor, which adheres to subendothelial collagen. After adherence occurs, platelet activation takes place, whereby they change in shape with degranulation and thromboxane A2 synthesis. Soon thereafter, platelet aggregation occurs, whereby additional platelets are recruited from the bloodstream and aggregate, thus forming a fibrin platelet plug. The bleeding time reflects this process, and if the platelets do not function properly in any of these steps, the bleeding time will prolong. The bleeding time test is useful for testing platelet plug formation in the capillaries. It is generally used in conjunction with other coagulation tests such as the prothrombin time, activated partial thromboplastin time, platelet count, fibrinogen and fibrin degradation products to aid in the diagnosis of patients suspected of having a bleeding disorder. Coagulopathies such as thrombocytopenia, qualitative platelet defects, vascular abnormalities and von Willebrand's disease may be diagnosed with coagulation tests. Now we will see Duke's method for determination of bleeding time. Principle. This is a measurement of time that has elapsed between infliction of a standard incision in skin and arrest of bleeding from it. A 2 mm deep incision is made on the finger. The length of time required for bleeding to cease is recorded. The bleeding time is therefore a combined measure of capillary function, platelet numbers and ability of platelets to adhere to vessel wall. Here specimen required is blood collected by finger puncture. Requirements are lancet, alcohol swabs, stopwatch and circular filter paper. Procedure. Step 1. Clean and disinfect the fingertip with alcohol and allow it to air dry. Step 2. Make puncture with depth of 2 mm with a sterile lancet and start the stopwatch. Step 3. Touch formed drops blood with edge of filter paper every 30 seconds. Step 4. Note the time taken for bleeding to stop and no more blood stains on the paper. Normal range of bleeding time is 1 to 4 minutes. Result. The bleeding time here is 2 minutes, which is in normal range. Interpretation. A bleeding time evolution is used to measure the primary phase of hemostasis, which involves platelet adherence to injured capillaries and then platelet activation and aggregation. The bleeding time can be abnormal when the platelet count is low or the platelets are dysfunctional. Causes of abnormal bleeding time can be hereditary or acquired. Hereditary causes of abnormal bleeding time are as follows. First is von Willebrand disease, Glanzmann thrombasthenia, Bernard-Soulier syndrome, and connective tissue diseases. Some of the other examples are vitamin C deficiency, alcohol intoxication, uremia, liver failure, leukemias, myelodysplastic syndrome, amyloidosis. Now we will learn the determination of clotting time. Introduction. Moravitz proposed classical theory about involvement of food substances present in blood for blood clotting. Thrombokinase liberated from blood platelet reacts with prothrombin, converting it into thrombin. Later on, David, McFerrin and Raynoff in 1964 proposed that there are several intrinsic and extrinsic factors involved in conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Now we will see the process of coagulation of blood. Within seconds of cutting a blood vessel, the damaged tissue causes platelets to become sticky and clump together around the cut. These activated platelets and the damaged tissue releases chemicals which react with other chemicals and proteins in the plasma called clotting factors. There are 13 known clotting factors which are called by their Roman numbers that are factor 1 to factor 13. A complex cascade of chemical reactions involving these clotting factors quickly occurs next to a cut. The final step of this cascade of chemical reactions is to convert factor 1, also called fibrinogen, a soluble protein, into thin strands of a solid protein called fibrin. The strands of fibrin form a meshwork and trap blood cells and platelets, which forms into a solid clot. Now we will see capillary method for determination of blood clotting time. Principle. When whole blood from vascular system is exposed to foreign surface, it will form a solid clot. This method is generally useful in severe clotting disorders. Here requirements are lancet, stopwatch, glass capillary tubes and alcohol swabs. Procedure. Step 1. Disinfect with alcohol and puncture a fingertip to a depth of 3 mm with lancet. Step 2. Wipe off first drop of blood gently with a cotton swab and collect the blood flowing out of puncture in a capillary tube by capillary actions. Step 3. After every 2 minutes, break the capillary tube from the end from which blood was drawn. Step 4. Note down the time taken when a thread formation appears on breaking the capillary. Normal value of clotting time is up to 4 minutes. Result. The clotting time is 2 minutes, which is in normal range. Interpretation. There are various conditions where you tend to bleed excessively if damage or cut a blood vessel. For example, too few platelets, that is thrombocytopenia, due to various causes. Genetic conditions where there is absence of one or more clotting factors. The most well known is hemophilia A, which occurs in people who do not make factor 8. Lack of vitamin K, which can cause bleeding problems, as this vitamin is needed to make certain clotting factors. Liver disorders. These sometimes cause bleeding problems as liver makes most of the clotting factors. Lastly, we will see the determination of hematocrit value. First, we will see clinical significance. Hematocrit is a measurement of the fractional volume of red blood cells. This is a key indicator of the body's state of hydration, anemia or severe blood loss, as well as the blood's ability to transport oxygen. A decreased hematocrit can be due to either overhydration, which increases the plasma volume, or a decrease in the number of red blood cells caused by anemias or blood loss. An increased hematocrit can be due to loss of fluids such as in dehydration, diuretic therapy and burns, or an increase in red blood cells such as in cardiovascular and renal disorders. Polycythemia vera and impaired ventilation. Introduction. The hematocrit is the proportion by volume of the blood that consists of red blood cells. The hematocrit, that is HCT, is expressed as a percentage. For example, a hematocrit of 25% means that there are 25 millimeters of red blood cells in 100 milliliters of blood. Now, we will see the normal values. The normal ranges for hematocrit are depending on the age and, after adolescence, the sex of the individual. The normal ranges are: in newborns between 55% to 68%, at 1 week of age between 47 to 65%, at 1 month of age between 37 to 49%, at 3 months of age between 30 to 36%, at 1 year of age between 29 to 41%, at 10 years of age between 36 to 40%, in adult males between 42% to 54%, and in adult women between 38% to 46%. Result: hematocrit value is MCV divided by 10 multiplied by RBCs, and that is 39%, which is in normal range. Interpretations. First is low hematocrit. A person who has a low hematocrit is referred to as being anemic. There are many reasons for anemia. Some of the more common reasons are loss of blood, as in traumatic injury, surgery, bleeding and colon cancer, nutritional deficiency such as iron, vitamin B12 and folate, bone marrow problems, that is replacement of bone marrow by cancer, suppression by chemotherapy drugs, kidney failure and abnormal hemoglobin, as in sickle cell anemia. Second is high hematocrit. Higher than normal hematocrit levels represent abnormally elevated red blood cell counts. High hematocrits can be seen in people living at high altitudes and in chronic smokers. Dehydration produces a falsely high hematocrit that disappears when proper fluid balance is restored. Some other infrequent causes of an elevated hematocrit are lung disease, certain tumors, a disorder of the bone marrow known as polycythemia rubra vera, and abuse of the drug erythropoietin, that is Epogen, by athletes for blood doping purpose. Summary. Now, let us summarize this topic. In today's practical, we have learned about the most common methods used for determination of erythrocyte sedimentation rate, bleeding time, clotting time and hematocrit. We have also seen the normal values and clinical significance of these tests in normal and pathological conditions. Thank you.